throw it out
Sorry. Go
um
ahead.
while we're talking. Um Maybe for a future session is there a way to tap out of tiredness or brain fog?
Yes. And the bigger thing to that is why there's tiredness or brain fog. And listen, here's the thing. I understand that
Mhm.
sometimes we're just tired, like we don't sleep,
Yeah.
we're doing a lot. The answer is yes, but it also depends on like, is that your default? Do you tend to default that way in
Yes.
general? And that's the deeper thing that you need to figure out why. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's
I just wanted to say something really quickly. And I don't know if you saw like the like the important thing in
Mhm.
heartbeat. Um, Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Important thing in heartbeat around if you have questions and you want support around stuff like that, if you could drop it in heartbeat, that would be amazing. So I can support you because I'm sure there's other people that also feel that way. But the best thing that I would say is that I can give you like drop it in heartbeat and I will respond. I'll give you some activities to do. But the number one thing that I would say is to figure out why that's your default. Like, yes, we are tired, but you'll find that, hold on, let me let Heather in. You'll find that when we are tired, or I'm sorry, not when we're tired, when we're just overwhelmed, when we're and all the things, we tend to default. Like I default to tiredness and brain fog as well, and it's because that the reason that's our default. Like yes, there could be something else going on in our bodies or like a imbalance or something like that, but a lot of times it's more than that. And so I'm curious if you are open to getting curious about why that's your default and starting from there. In the meantime, drop it in heartbeat and I'll give you some things to do to help clear brain fog. How does that sound? Okay, amazing. Good. I'm so glad. Yeah, and I'm still getting clear on how I want all these things to roll. So just bear with me as I start like setting boundaries and getting really clear on, hey, when you need this type of support, there's where it goes. Hey, this is when you have one-on-one support with me or calls or whatever, right? Or not one-on-one. That's probably not the right way, but like this, right? So just bear with me as I move through that. I hired some team over the weekend, so or actually last week, and they've been helping me. So we're getting a lot of things implemented. So just bear with me as we go through that. And I just appreciate all of your patience. Okay, so I'm just going to pop out the chat really quick, and I do want to let you guys know that we are going to do not hypnosis. We're going to do an NLP pattern. For those of you that don't know, oh, let me hit record really quick so I don't forget. Oh, I already hit record. See, I'm tired too. I get it. My brain is like, um, NLP, so neuro linguistic programming. And there's a lot of back and forth around, what NLP is, if it's a pseudoscience. And I'll be honest with you, there was a lot of people at the very beginning that basically said NLP pseudoscience, and a lot of neuroscientists would say that. Mainly, I don't know that they're saying it because it's linked to hypnosis, and there's a lot of, not great like hypnosis doesn't always have the most positive like attachment to it. And so I think a lot of neuroscientists and people of science in general are really mindful of how they want to talk about things that tend to be very woo woo esoteric. But there is a neuroscientist that's doing a lot of amazing studies and even actually teaches on certifications of how they use NLP. Like if neuroscience is the why, then NLP is the how. And they actually use NLP. And I actually only use NLP stuff that I have tried with like all of my clients and they are tried and trusted. I have my own theories on why they work from a neuroscience perspective. But again, I'm not a neuroscientist by trade. I do have certifications, but I'm not by trade. And that's not even, it is something that interests me, but it's not something like I don't go around saying I'm a neuroscientist, right? And I tend to be more on the neuropsychology side of things. And I do the actual like physicality of like changing the structures of your brain. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know that and be completely transparent about the stuff that we do in this container. And also, Ginger, I don't know if you've seen or whatever, but I've decided that I'm just going to let it be infinite replays because what originally I was doing was I wanted to support, I love to over deliver. I wanted to support you guys more in like a I don't know, like a rolling mastermindy kind of way, and like kind of getting my footing on what that would feel like and what that would be like. But what I found is a lot of people that originally joined this container, maybe they can't show up weekly. And if it's building off the week before, that's really stressful for them. And so I'm going back to just, you guys get unlimited replays. I just want this to feel so nourishing and seen, but also like in a way that like feels nourishing and you guys feel seen and heard in a way that also facilitates really positive change. I think there's a few people in this container that wasn't ready for mentor fair, and mentor fair is kind of an ass kicker. But that's why my clients get such crazy results, right? And so really going through and separating that out so people really feel safe to come and flow in and out of this container. So I hope that's okay. And I love to give you guys just all this feedback on, hey, this is the data, this is not, proven, and just be really transparent with you guys. So I don't know if you guys have ever done any NLP. Heather, you may not have known it, but NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, Ginger, I don't know if you have, but that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm really, really excited because it's one of my favorite patterns, and my clients get crazy results with this. I've never done it in a group before, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. So what I want you guys to do. So last week, Ginger, I don't know if you had a chance to watch last week's, and if you didn't, no worries, but we did a similar kind of thing about getting stuff done that we didn't want to do, which was really powerful. I think Heather had even mentioned like, wow, that was so powerful. I feel so motivated to do the thing that I really didn't want to do. So I thought that was really cool to kind of test out these things of what really works for me. Yeah. What really works for me. Did you get it done? Like, I'm so curious. Yeah. And I did see that you did post something in Heartbeat, which I'll get to today. I'm still onboarding my team, so just bear with me as I go through all of this. But yeah, so it's kind of that, but we're going to do it for money. And next week, we're going to do something even cooler for money. Listen, to catch up on things that I don't want to do. And I love it. I love that. And what if we could change it to where we can accept it, but what if you felt motivated to do it and it felt a little bit more joyful? And Heather, I don't know if I'm going to try to talk less because I know it's hard for you guys to type, and I understand that that's not been easy for you guys. So I'm going to try to talk like, hey, how is this? Because I know you guys just want to jump on here and do the change work. But Heather, I don't know if you want to say like chat, or you guys can also post it in Heartbeat, but I'm curious, did it feel joyful? Did it feel like you wanted to do it, or it was just more easy to do it? And you can share if you want to, but you don't have to. But I got a lot of good feedback on that one. So this week, we're going to do it on becoming the person that has the money you want. And then next week, definitely more joy. I love that. And something that you really didn't want to do, right? Like it was something that you were like, I don't want to do this. So yes. And then next week, we're going to do something really cool, either with, I haven't decided the angle I'm going to do it, but it's either going to be debt. And I don't know if any of us have debt, and maybe you guys, since you all are on the call, I can actually prioritize what you guys need and want, if it's debt, or if we could get rid of anything, where if you no longer saw that thing that you don't want as naturally normal, what would it be? Would it be debt, or would it be holding on to money? Good. Okay. So good to notice. And holding money is a thing for you, right? Like, let's hold on to it, and not like hold in a way that I want to like never spend a penny, but like my nervous system doesn't feel activated enough where I need to spend it as fast as I can get it. And maybe that's not a thing for you guys either. If it's not, guys, drop it here, drop it in Heartbeat. Let me know what trainings you want. I am so happy to gear my trainings towards what you guys want, right? Maybe more making money. Neither. Okay. So both of you. Okay. So this is good, right? Attracting gifts. Okay. Yeah. Well, what I want more so than what me, I love this, guys. Thank you for this. This is such great insight. Attracting opportunities. Okay. Yes. I feel like that would be a good one. I'm going to hold on. I'm just going to write these down or copy and paste them or send the chat. Okay. Yeah, that's a great one, right? And I feel like as business owners, we all really thrive in opportunities, but doing it in a way that feels really good and supportive and right. And I give this example, Heather, I think you were on the Tuesday call and you heard me talk about, or I think I talked about this, but Krista is now, she has a background in she's been my client for a long time. We met in the Dominican Republic 5 years ago, and she just followed me on Instagram, and then eventually became my client. And we actually got to meet up, and she was telling me that I'd been looking for an online business manager, but I didn't want to search. I knew that what I was looking for was very specific, and I knew that it wouldn't come from pushing and forcing. And I just set the intention that the right person would come along when I was ready. And that was literally a month ago, right? And then Krista's telling me about her background and the new business she wants to start. And basically, she's an online business operations manager. She just hasn't done it for individual online service providers yet. So she was like, so I ended up hiring her, and she's been helping me so much, getting my content out, my back end sorted, and really being able to support you guys. So I want you guys to really think about that opportunities can just come. Yes, we can choose to chase them down, but what if we were just in a way where we just go and do the things we love and the things pop up? Right. So maybe that's what we do. So I've got attracting opportunities. I've got more insight to what my business needs. I know a protocol that would be great for that. Also, but I want you guys to think of, is there anything negative? And I don't mean negative like bad, just like I wish I didn't have. Like for me, procrastination is such a big one. And that's so tied to my nervous system regulation. And so is there anything where you're like, so I thought debt might be one, or being spending money as fast as you could get it. But is there anything else that you're like, I want to let go of this thing? Let me know, because I have a really good protocol for it, right? Okay, what Bob Proctor says, I'm so grateful for multiple income streams. Yes, I love Bob Proctor too. Isn't he great? How do I get money on autopilot? Yeah, and has that, and if you don't want to respond, that's okay. Because again, I know you guys have to type so much. I realize that's been a pain in the ass for you guys. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. But I am curious if you do want to share here or in Heartbeat or whatever. Has that worked for you? Has that felt good for you? I'm just curious. And so when you guys are ready, I'm just looking up the pattern that I created for you guys. And I'm just looking that up now. So you guys have a minute to kind of look in or type in the chat if you want. And I'm really, really, really excited for this, because this pattern is really, really powerful. And I've never done it in a group. So I'm really excited to do it with you too, because I know that you both are such action takers. And when we can really learn to how to embody, I did something. Whoops. I don't know what I did, but I did something. Really learning how to embody this version of ourselves, right? This version of ourselves that gets what we want. And when we start to embody that version of ourselves, opportunities do come, because we open up what we call the reticular activating system, and we're able to see more opportunity there that was already in front of us. And then what you guys know, I like to say, the universe meets us there. So then opportunities also come to us, right? So really learning how to get into that flow. It feels good, but I don't know how to create the income stream. So tapping into guidance. I love that. Okay, so it sounds like both of you, I've got a good protocol for this. Both of you are looking for the how, right? And I know that I say this all the time, and you guys probably hate that I say it, but I'm always like, fuck the how. Like, that's my whole thing, right? Like, yes, we do have to understand how, but when you're truly in alignment and you do feel safe to experience the things you want and worthy and all the other things, the how works itself out, right? And I use the example of somebody coming to me and saying, like, if they came to me and said, I want to learn, because I really do believe with all of my heart that not only I can have whatever I desire, but so can you. It's not, I'm not special in that way. And I see it all the time in my clients. It blows my mind. And if they came to me and said, okay, I want to fly, and like, I want to sprout wings. And I would be like, okay, well, maybe not that, but maybe we can, get your pilot's license and manifest you getting a plane or building a plane or whatever. Sometimes the things that we want, there's a reason why we want them, and it's more aligning to why we want them and the thing underneath what we think that thing will give us, more than it is the thing. So let's say, oh, I want to fly because it makes me feel free. Okay, well, if you align with just freedom being your default and only taking action, okay, not only, we're adults, we have to take action. That doesn't always feel good, but learning to align to, okay, everything I desire comes from freedom. So freedom, everything that creates more freedom to me should be like my highest priority. And then literally I've seen just opportunities drop out of nowhere. And maybe I can't help you spot rings, but I can help you fly in a way that would, create that freedom for you. And so I think when people come to me and say, I want the how, I'm so for it, because we are business owners. And also, and also the how does tend to work itself out. And I think we get too caught up in the how instead of just doing the alignment work, if that makes sense. Going deeper with making money can be easy and fun, relaxing, normal. I love that for you. I think that's such a good mantra for you. That sounds good. Then maybe trusting that. Yeah. I love that. Let me see if you guys know, I just realized the chat gets sent to me anyway. So, okay, cool. All right. So I just want to be completely, okay. So we're already like 20 past. I just want to be completely transparent here. Sometimes I know I've been saying this, but I just love to talk. And then I realize how much trying to like get you guys to talk back is a pain in the ass, because you guys have to type. And so sometimes when I do these protocols, we might not be on for the full hour, but I think that's such a good lesson for us of, sometimes we get the change work that we need in less than the time. So sometimes we'll be on for an hour. Sometimes it may be a little less because this protocol is actually quite quick. But I just want to be completely transparent about that as well. And if you have any feedback to that, let me know. And what was the other thing? Oh, really quick, while I'm on here, Ginger, I did make a new video on how to navigate money magic in Heartbeat. And so a lot of people were getting confused because luckily Heather pointed it out to me, but we're getting confused on where the money magic replays are. So I actually moved them to threads, and you can see the video. I think it's like 10 minutes, but if you do it times 2, it's like 5 minutes. But under threads, you'll see money magic replay. So that's where I'm going to post them from now on. I think I'll keep the other one up just for now until everybody gets the hang of it. But I feel like that's a more intuitive way. So that way it functions more like a Facebook feed, like, it was in the Facebook group where you can just scroll and be like, oh, this replay, this replay, this replay. The other one is good, and maybe you guys have feedback on that. Let me know what you guys like. But there was a confusion on where the replays were. So just FYI there, right? So if you guys have questions, please drop them in Heartbeat. I'm so happy to help you there. Okay, are you guys ready? Just let me know, drop it in the chat. I love asking this one question because that's the one thing that really signals to all levels of your consciousness that we are ready to make some changes. So I love that from you guys. Okay, so I want you to, so think of, you don't have to drop it in the chat, but I want you to think of a time recently. The more recent, the better, because I want it to elicit a negative, I hate saying negative, but like an emotional response that doesn't feel good, right? Like maybe you're sad or emotional or reactive or whatever. So, but it needs to be the opposite of what you're trying to install. So if we look at this from the perspective of I'm tapping out the bad and installing the good, whatever that means, this would be, okay, if I go up, and I think Ginger's was, sorry, I'm just going to go up to here. So think about the person. So here's what we're going to do. Sorry, I'm going to think about how I'm going to articulate this. The person that you are that has what you want. So think of a very specific goal that you want. Of course, I love for it to be money or business related, but if it's not, that's okay. And then think of the thing that we need to let go of to get that. So that might be procrastination, if that's your default. Maybe Ginger, maybe this is a good one for being tired, right? If like when I get overwhelmed, I tend to default to being very tired, very a lot of brain fog, so that, and I know that's one of my default patterns, and I know that that's something I desire to let go to have more ease and flow in my business. So here's what we're going to do. We're basically going to take a default pattern, and if this is confusing to you guys, let me know and I'll walk you through it. But taking a default pattern, meaning that default pattern is not healthy. So let me give it to you an example of like eating sweets and wanting to be fit and healthy, right? So your default pattern, or what we call it the compulsory pattern. So this does need to be compulsory. It does need to be something that you do pretty compulsively, right? So if you've done it, several times in the last week or more than 15 times the last month, I consider that compulsory. So compulsory would be like eating ice cream, right? And then we're going to replace it with the person that doesn't eat ice cream and is fit and healthy and confident and whatever. Does that make sense? So come up with 2 things, take your time, because I know this is a weird concept that I'm throwing at you, and let me know, and just let me know in the chat if you need help with this, or if you're like, yeah, I want to let go of this and become this. And that's what you're going to walk away from this today. I want making money to be full of ease and normal and fun. So opposite. Yeah. And do you, when you think of the struggle and the trying, is that something that you experience a lot of, and that it kind of evokes an emotional response of like, when you think back to the last time that you experienced it, maybe you feel frustration, maybe you feel activated in your body. We really want this to be something that, because what we're doing here is we're breaking a pattern. And that's why you have to be emotional, and I'll get to associated in a minute and what that means, but also associated in. So this needs to be a pattern that you have that is so common that when you think back to the last time you experienced it, you're experiencing from the first person. You're not watching yourself go through the pattern, you're in it. Does that make sense? So for a minute, just go back to the last time. So maybe the last time you felt tired or overwhelmed, or the last time you were like I'm doing it all and it's not working and I feel frustrated. Like whatever that story is, I'm trying, I'm struggling, right? Are you associated into the first person? And if you're not, let me know, right? I think so, yes, but I do feel things are shifting because I felt more joy and ease since last week. I love that. Oh my gosh. So I can trust the how. Yeah. Okay. So maybe we work with that and it'll just help. A lot of these protocols that I do for you guys do stack on top of each other. So if that's the one that comes forward, or it might even be something like you guys know my thing is content. So like, who do I want to show up online? How do I show up more consistently in my content? Yes, I hired somebody, which has been so helpful. But for me, it's well, who is that person that shows up consistently? How does she move? How does she act? And you guys get to see that version of me a lot, right? Like I'm very magnetic. I attract people in. But behind the scenes, and I even just did a post about this, is that behind the scenes I beat myself up a lot. And so maybe this pattern for me would be like, I don't want to beat myself up and I want to trust that I'm okay either way. Does that make sense what I'm saying for you guys? And if you guys need help, let me know. I'm happy to like slow it down and make sure that you guys are on track. And if not, if you're ready, just let me know because your cameras are off, so I don't really know what's going on, which is okay. I'm not like, you don't have to turn them on, but it does help me sometimes so I can, just see what's going on. I avoid doing important work. Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do the important things with ease and flow, right? Do you want to do it and it's not even like a second thought? Um, I am ready. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Yes. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Heather. Okay, cool. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. And this is like the most easy thing. And if you do want to turn on, yeah, you don't have to. I never want people to feel uncomfortable, but I do watch your body language. It helps me understand where everybody is in the process. Okay, so all I want you to do is I just want you to take a few breaths. You guys know I like to just ground in as we're here together, just feeling in your comfortable in your body, being here, having your time, right? And when you're ready, I just want you to go back to that last time where you were experiencing the compulsory, right? The negative, if that's what you want to call it. I don't like using that terminology, but you know what I mean. And just make sure that you're associated in from the first person. Like you're there in the memory, you're in the memory. And just notice what happens in your body. Is it an emotion and or sensation? It's probably both, but just notice. Just notice, right? And just kind of nod your head when you're there so I know that we're like on the same place and like ready. Okay, cool. I'm just going to hold space for a minute for Ginger because I know sometimes this can be, a lot. So just holding that space. Heather, for you, you can let that go if you don't want to be associated into it the whole time. I just needed to know that you can access it. And so Ginger, for you, I'm holding space, no rush. Just let me know when you're ready. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So all we're going to do is we're going to let go of that vision, right? And now I want you to pretend that there is a movie screen like projector in front of you, okay? And I want you to pretend that there is a version of you and maybe let me know if you know this version of yourself, right? There's a version of you that's already overcome the thing, right? And you're already experiencing doing the important tasks with ease. You're already having more ease and flow and joy in your business, or making money feels the most natural and normal. And just like, shake your head, let me know if that's something that you're like, yeah, I know what that version is like. I can kind of tap into her and see her. Okay, amazing. Amazing. Okay, cool. All right. So now again, I just want you to take that version and you're seeing her on the screen in front of you. And I want you to blow it up. Like I want you to make this image so big that it literally fills up every like part of the screen in front of you. We're making it big and colorful and almost like we want to make the image feel like a vortex. So whatever you need to do to that image to make it feel like it's going to suck you in, don't let it suck you in, but does need to feel like that magnetic pull. Like it's probably very colorful. It's probably very clear. If that doesn't work for you, that's okay. You change it based on what feels good and magnetic to you, right? So it's like, this is the person that you want to be, and it's kind of pulling you into the picture, but you're not going quite yet. And now I just want you to imagine that you understand and you know and that you embody the feelings that go along with it, right? The feelings and sensations in your body. Like notice how you breathe, notice how you feel in your body. Notice even maybe the thoughts that come along with it or the actions. And if those don't come up, that's okay too. Just you know what's right for you. And when you feel like that version of you feels very magnetic, you're kind of being pulled into the picture, just nod your head so I know we're on the same page. Or you're like, yeah, this feels good. I like her. Yeah, cool. Now I just want you to allow that image to just float up into the sky, and we're going to clear and reset the screen. So the screen, don't worry, we're coming back to her because people are like, oh no, clear, reset the screen. The screen is blank now. Okay. And we're going to come back to her. Now, again, I want you to imagine on the screen in front of you that version of you that's doing the compulsory thing. We're getting caught up in the busy work. We're trying so hard. We're struggling. And that's on the screen in front of you. Good. There's already yawning. That's great. I know you're tired, but also yawning is also like a processing. So I love that. I love seeing that. Okay. And I just want you to notice what that image looks like. Is it big? Is it bright? Is it grainy? Is it small? There's no right answer. We're just noticing and keeping track of how our body feels based on what image is in front of us, right? Okay, so when you're there, just nod your head so I know we're in the same place here. I think we're all there. Yeah, everybody looks a little uncomfortable. And I want you to imagine that somewhere on that screen, probably on the bottom, but anywhere that needs to be, it's fine, is that version of you. It's like a screen within a screen that's already overcome it. Okay. And she's small. She's on a small screen, right? But she's somewhere within that picture. And just nod when you're there of like, okay, this big compulsory picture's in front of me. I don't like it. But then there's a smaller version of me that's like already overcome it. And she's on the screen somewhere. And just let me know when you're there. I think Heather said she was there. So Ginger, you just nod your head if you're there. Amazing. Okay, so not yet, but in a moment, all I want you to do, I'm going to say swish, right? And all I want you to do is switch the images. So the version of you that you want to become, that's like already overcome this, that's getting everything you desire with ease and flow, it's going to go and come up and feel the screen and be so big and so magical. And then the other one is going to go to that really small place where the other one is. Are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, swish. Yes, there, that, there we go. And just notice this one version, this version of you that you want to be. It's big, it's vibrant, it's clear, and it feels good. The most important thing here is that it feels good, that you're like, yes, that is the version of me that I know to be true, that's within me, that I desire to be. And she's here, right? Okay. So how, just kind of nod your head if the big picture is there in front of you and the other one is small somewhere else on the screen. Just kind of nod your head, let me know where you're at. Cool. Okay. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna do this probably 3 more times with me, and then I'm gonna have you do it a few times on your own. Okay. So we'll clear the screen. And you may just need to like move your body. That's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. But just notice if you need to. A lot of times we're doing this work, we need to shift our body. There's energy moving. We're breaking patterns. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. But I want you to notice that now, every time you pull up that compulsory image, it's a little like, ugh, and you like want to have the swish, right? So the compulsory image is there, and you might notice it might become like less colorful, grainy, like not as clear. And if not, that's okay. It'll get there. And then there's like this smaller picture of you being the version of you that you want. So just nod your head when you're ready, and I'll count to 3. Cool. 1, 2, 3, swish. Notice the shift. The big version of you right there. Colorful, clear, confident, doing things with ease and flow, getting exactly what she desires. And this other small picture of what you used to do, struggle, right? Get caught in the busy work. Yeah, move your body if you need to. When you're ready, clear the screen. Again, we're going to have the compulsory picture in front of you, and then the smaller version of you that you wanted, that you desire, somewhere in that frame. Yeah, there's like so much awning. I love this. When you're ready, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Swish. Yes. And notice not only that there might be shifts in colors or feelings or whatever, but notice how you feel in your body is probably pretty different too. Okay, when you're ready, clear the screen. And I am going to let you guys do this 2 times on your own, and just let me know when you're done. I'm watching you, but let me know when you're done, because doing it on your own, there's some magic to that. So I'm just going to be quiet and hold space for you guys. So do this 2 times. Clear the screen, compulsory image, image you want, swish. Compulsory image, we'll clear the screen in between. No rush here, but when you're ready, just let me know that image that you want is there in front of you. Good. It's so big. And I do want you to imagine that it's got this vortex and it's kind of sucking you in. When you're there, notice, does it feel safe? Not for you to step into it. We're not stepping into it. We're bringing it into you. Does that feel safe? To literally pull it into you and start to breathe and sit and embody that version. And if it doesn't feel safe, let me know. But I want to make sure that it feels safe and doable and like, yeah, of course, that's just who I am, right? Just who I am. That's the way this should feel. That this version of you is literally all who you've always been. Like you're almost like not even sure that the other version, like, okay, you remember, but it's not, there's no response from the old version. So let me know, right? Where we're at with that. Let me know when that's done, when you feel like, okay, I've pulled it into me. It is here. You just kind of nod your head. Let me know. Take all the time you need to. Yeah, cool. So I'm sorry, which one? The version of you that you want to be is outside? Because we're not quite done yet. So, but the good version is outside. Where is she? In front of me. Okay. So if she's in front of you, where, and you don't have to drop it in the chat, but where is the other version of you? And all I want you to do is I want you to take the vision of the other version of you. Oh, she's gone. Okay, perfect. So Heather, for you, if the other version of you is still there, the smaller you can make it, the grainier and the more black and white. And even if there's any sort of sound to it, because some people associate into sound, hear the sound, especially if there's talking, being like a little like, hey, you can't do that. You got to struggle. Like make it really high pitched and literally just move it. You can literally move it like to the side, outside, give it to the earth, just move it. But the more we can make it like grainy and not intense and like small, the more we're going to be like, okay, cool. Right. Okay. So now that is really grainy and really small and somewhere not affecting you, okay? We're going to go back to this other version. And I want you guys to let me know if you're struggling with like bringing her into you. If that's what we're with, right? can we, and Ginger, for you, maybe it is that you step into her. Maybe that's how your brain processes. I like to play around with this. If in my private sessions, I play around a lot with how people perceive and what their brains do and this and that. But it seems to be a little more powerful if you can pull an image to you versus stepping into it, right? Because sometimes if we step into it, it's almost saying like, oh, I'm stepping into a person that's not me. And what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that it's always been you. We're not being somebody new. We're unlearning old things. We are now becoming a person that we've always been. I want you guys to feel empowered knowing that you've always been this person and that you don't even need me or this work to be that person, that the person's always been there. And if there's resistance here, that's okay too. We just notice it and we get curious, right? And maybe you need to get up and move your body. Sometimes our bodies are like, oh, I need to stand up to do this. I need to move. I need to shake. I need to whatever. We honor what our bodies are telling us. We honor what we desire because our bodies are intelligent and our body will tell us what we need, right? So Heather, are you associated in? Like, are you the person now? Okay, cool. All I want you to think back to, because I need to check my work and make sure it's okay. I want you to think back to that first memory that I had you go back to that was compulsory. And then I said, are you in the first person? You said, yeah. Is there any emotional response or physical response into that memory now? Because there shouldn't be. So I need to check my work and make sure it's done. There's none. It's gone. Perfect. Perfect. And so the other thing that I like to do is you guys notice that I'm pretty hardcore on the aligned action stuff. And it's like, okay, from here, and you can ask your body, you can ask this version of you, from here, what's the next step to making money with ease and joy? Right? Like really having, and a very simple, I feel like sometimes we get too like into it, right? Too into it where we're like, oh, I need to, create this offer and figure out my price points. It's like, no, just let it be simple because the more simple it is, the more likely we'll do it. And that's going to reinforce this new pattern and this new behavior and this new way of being. So let's just like a simple thing. Like, what am I doing this week? Okay. Like maybe you are emailing your list. I don't know, but maybe it's just, oh, I get to have more fun. I'm going to go out to dinner with my man. Like, I don't know, but trust whatever comes forward is right. Because sometimes when we're attracting in things, especially with ease and flow, but if it's money or business, we think our action step has to be business related, which I like it to be, because we tend to get, results a little bit faster. But trust that if something comes forward that's not business related, that's exactly what you need. Sometimes I know that you guys a lot of times will have rest. Like, I just need to rest. I just had a private client that was like, I just need rest. I'm like, cool, go with that. Because a big next part of this is that you guys hear me say this a lot, but I like to reiterate is that I want you guys to start to trust that you do know the answer, that you don't need anybody to like tell you how to navigate it, that you already know. That's a big part of this work, right? And being in this container. Into queen energy. Yes, I am so feeling that. I feel like you kind of already have queen energy, but I love that for you. I think it's amazing, right? Rest up for the next week, traveling, spend some time with friends. I love that. I love that for you. I am curious. You don't have to drop it now. Maybe you drop it in a heartbeat. I don't know. But if you have any insight to what that looks like because our brains hate specificity. So if we can really be like, all right, I'm going to wear my red shoes this week or whatever queen energy means to you. And maybe you don't know, and that's okay. But just, I lovingly invite you like to get clear on what that is, right? Because sometimes we'll like have the aha moment, but if we don't have it in a very grounded way, it's our brains being kind of sneaky, right? And Heather too, if you have something that you're like, I'm going to do this, and maybe you don't, and that's okay. I don't want you guys to feel pressured or anything. I just want you guys to just receive the magic and then go do the things and report back of all the magic, right? There is a bit of angst and a little bit of angst. What do I do about that? Yeah, maybe tap on it. Like if there's resistance to this, like if and actually, you know what I would do before tapping, because you guys know tapping, and I feel like I shove that down your throats a lot. And that's why I've moved away from not doing it all the time. We're still going to do it. But I would actually go and watch the replay and just redo it. So a lot of times in my private sessions, I'll do it over and over and over again. I don't do it this way on group calls because not everybody's on the same place, and I don't want people to feel that way. But if you guys, we do have some time, so if you guys want to do it a few more times, we can. I'm open to that. But that's why I tend to do it like 3 to 5 times and then have you do it on your own, so you also learn the skills to do it, right? This is the end of the year, so focus on creating for next year. I love that. There's also something interesting in a minute. I did. I was able to say the number I want easily, but then I said not working momentarily. Yeah, well, and we talked about this with our one-to-one. Do you remember what we talked about like really having that belief around I have to do it this way. It has to be hard. I have to work for it. And really working on that belief is going to give you so much freedom, like so much freedom. Um, and and again, like I have one spot left. I just sold the other one, but for the deep healing, that might be a good one for you to work on if you were still interested in that. Me and Heather did that, and it did a lot of shifting for her. When you have these patterns and these beliefs and stuff that come up over and over and over again that you can't seem to clear on your own, that's the time to have that of like, because the reason Heather did that with me is we had been working on it since our first call together, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. And we had one session, then she just did the membership, and then that kept coming up. So we're like, hey, let's clear this in a deep healing session where that's just dedicated time to get that out of your brain and body. And there's a few other people that have done these in the container that you can talk to as well, if that might be something you're interested in. But if not, just keep working on it on your own, right? So yeah, do you guys want to do the swish pattern a few more times, or are you good? Let me know. I'm happy to hold the space for you guys to do it a few more times, or if you want to watch it on your own. Sometimes doing this process on your own is really powerful, right? Okay, Ginger, you're good. Amazing. Heather, are you good? I just always want to make sure you guys feel like completely, yeah. Well, and Ginger also can hop off and I can just do it with you for a few minutes. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It's up to me. Do you want to do it a few more times? It'll literally take 5 seconds, right? So it's up to you guys. You just let me know. Yeah. Okay. All right. I love this. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So again, we're gonna shake it out. And now having these insights, I'm so curious that now that we have these insights to what you're doing, like this is my queen energy, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is what I'm going to allow myself to do. Notice if that compulsory image has changed, because we're going to start with the compulsory image again. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, we don't know. But you'll notice that you might not even be able to get it big again. It's probably really small in front of you, and that's okay. That's exactly where it should be, right? So don't fight it, don't change it, just let it show up exactly how it's showing up, right? And right in front of you, the compulsory image of this old version of you, right? And then again, there's the person that you want to be, that you are, not even want to be, that you are somewhere in that screen. But she's a little small right now. Probably really bright, probably really shiny, but small. Okay. And before we do the swish, I want you to set an intention. And the intention might be I'm stepping into this version of me for the greatest, highest good for all. There is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing with attaching that to an intention. I did this with one of my private clients, and I had her set an intention from that and not that, and how it felt different in her body. All right. So try that on, see how that works. If you don't like it, you don't use it. And when you've got your intention and you're like, this is fucking happening, this is what I'm doing, shake your head, let me know. Cool. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3, swish. And notice that that version of you that you want to be is so big, so bright, so colorful, so vortexy. And if it's not as vortexy as you want it to be, then infuse it. Infuse it with the feelings and the sensations that you desire. It's like installing with tapping. What is it that you want to feel? What is it that you want to embody? And notice if the colors change. Notice if how you're being in the picture changes. It doesn't, there's no wrong way to do it. We're just noticing, right? And do it in that way until it feels a little vortexy. And if it's not there yet, then clear the screen, do it again. I'm going to hold space for you guys to do it a few times on your own. Do it as much time that you need, where that pattern is literally like they're so disassociated that you almost can't even switch them anymore. Does that make sense? Okay. Ready? Clear the screen. Now you guys are going to do it, and do it as much times that you need where there isn't resistance and where there isn't angst. Because sometimes it's just doing it enough times. And I'm just going to hold space, and you guys let me know when you're done. I'm watching you. I'm watching your body language. So if you guys need help, I'm here. Yeah, there's already some shifting happening and our bodies move that way. So keep going. Keep going until there's no resistance there, that it just is. And the other version of you seems almost like a distant memory. Like, oh, who's that? I'm even, okay. Yes. Mhm. Okay, how'd it go? I see that you're back. That's why I'm asking. Heather, yeah. I think you're done. Maybe you're not. Let me know if you're not. I could like see your body shifting there. I thought I saw your eyes open. So I was like, yeah, relax. Yeah. And guys, I mean, you hear it say it all the time, but over and over again, is like eventually we want to get to a point where everything that we desire feels relaxed, feels really natural and normal. So we're not like, screwing with our nervous systems. And yes, do I get really excited when I talk about certain things? Yes, but I try to make the things that I'm bringing into my life feel like the most natural and normal things. So, if I want 50K months, they should feel like the most naturally normal thing. But when I get on and talk about a program, I'm probably really excited because that's magnetic and it's part of my personality. It's not like I'm faking it, right? So I think that sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for making the things that we desire feel relaxed and natural and normal, right? So just be like, wow, I'm celebrating that for you. I think that's great. You were. That's amazing. So I'm so excited to hear about what happens this week. Report back. Let me know if you guys like this. Let me know like what ended up happening. I so love this. And again, if you guys have any questions about how to navigate things in Heartbeat, drop them in there. Cues and discussions thread. I'm in there so I can answer questions if you guys have any questions. This will go in the Money Magic replay under threads. Again, if you have questions about that, let me know. Does that sound good to everybody? Is everybody good? Are you feeling like embodied? Are you like, yeah, this is great? Okay, amazing. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.